As we all know, Roman Reigns has been the man in WWE for a while. It didn't seem to be ending anytime soon, and unfortunately the dude behind the character, Joe Anoa'i, has been struck with leukemia and needs to go away for a while. As ever, everybody at WhatCulture just wishes Roman the best. Back in the wrestling world though, it does mean we have an opening for someone to step into his shoes, and that's absolutely something that will happen. Vince McMahon likes having a top guy to build the company around, and I doubt that's just gonna stop. There was Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, The Rock, John Cena. That is pretty much 30 years of history right there. Somebody else will be anointed soon. The question then is who? It really should be Repo Man, but that doesn't seem likely, so let's dig a little deeper. I will say before we begin, we're trying to think long term here. So AJ Styles is out as he's past 40, and while Braun Strowman rocks, he's not your traditional fit, so he's out too. Sorry. Anyway, I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and this is the 10 best options to be WWE's next top guy. Number 10, Ricochet. I think Ricochet is so good that no matter what happens when he gets to the main roster, he will shine. His talent will rise above any bad booking or stupid decision making. At 30 years old, he's the right age and has all the experience in the world, and he's also an established star down in NXT. Plus, don't forget, he is incredibly gifted. You only need to watch a Ricochet match for a minute before realizing that something special is going on here. At worst, you'd imagine he fits in where Rey Mysterio currently does, but at best, given the lay of the land, maybe he could fill this top guy void. Wrestling has changed so much over the last few years that fans are desperate for something different, and that's Ricochet. He's not the tallest guy in the world, which would hurt, and his promo skills aren't what WWE usually look for, but given everything else, well, you just never know. That carries even more weight when you remember that SmackDown is due to move to Fox next year and apparently have a more sporty presentation. If you want a guy to impress on visuals alone, he's right here, and he's more than ready. Number 9, Adam Cole. Adam Cole is the total package, and I'm not talking about Lex Luger. Picked at an early age when he was coming through the ranks, he's also now made a name for himself down in NXT, winning titles and heading his own stable along the way. If you ask Cole to do something, he can do it with ease. Much like Ricochet, he's the right age at only 29, but that means he also has more time on his hands too. And why is that important? As the years go on, Triple H will continue to gain more creative power backstage, and if Adam is around and waiting, there's no reason he won't be pushed as much as he is today. If you want to get super specific, he's a bit like a new version of Shawn Michaels in terms of how he carries himself. And sure, again, he isn't one of Vince McMahon's giants who usually get the ball, but with everything that's happened recently and Cole's other strengths, he has a chance at the very least. Number 8, Drew McIntyre. A favourite among many to take this spot, Drew McIntyre was meant to be the guy back in 2009. Dubbed the Chosen One by McMahon himself, didn't really work out. A few years later, he was part of the 3MB, playing fake guitars with Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal. That seems really weird in hindsight. Probably was really weird then too. Shift forward to today, however, and you don't even need to worry about it. One of the most pushed and protected talents on the WWE roster, it seems everybody on Raw is in agreement that Drew needs to be treated like a top guy, which is happening as I say these words. He's preparing to make the leap. Unlike our previous 2 entrants as well, McIntyre has what Vinnie Mac enjoys, namely he's 6'5", 265 pounds, really good in the ring, and he has lovely hair. That makes a difference, but it can't hurt. So where could the stumbling blocks be? It's simple. It's going to come down to the fans. There's a love in the air for him now, no doubt, but it can get toasty when you get moved up and have to be accepted as a main eventer. Get that transition wrong, and we all know what happens. Either way, he deserves a shot, because he really does tick a lot of those damn boxes. Number 7, Aleister Black. Straight up, Aleister Black is not someone that you automatically picture when we're talking about leading a brand or being the face of the company. Triple H has shown time and time again he's happy to take risks in that regard, and that's certainly the case with Black. It worked so well you could argue he's a huge reason for NXT getting back to the level it's at now. Let's not forget, that's what a top guy does. He also turned himself into a huge babyface and has a unique moveset that makes him stand out. Nothing else. People buy into the character and he feels real. That uniqueness gives him a quality that's hard to come by even if he is unconventional. Which is where I worry. On Raw or SmackDown he could be booked as the next Papa Shango but with a harder edge, and that would be doing the man a disservice. Taking risks is the best part of wrestling, and if we never try, we'll never know. Black is someone worth taking a pump with, because I can feel it in my veins, which is rather poignant. Number 6, Keith Lee. I flippin' love Keith Lee. He is the man. A long-time vet of the indie scene at 33 years of age, there's so much to him, he could easily be your top guy. He's already made major waves in evolving PWG with his combination of size, power moves, and freakish athleticism, plus he stands at 6'5" and weighs nearly 300 pounds. Mr. McMahon will love it. Now yes, history tells us that Vince is more likely to take someone as thick as Lee and paint him as an upper mid-card heel, but screw that. There is something magical about Keith that should absolutely be taken advantage of. He comes across like he he gets it. There's always the risk that a lot of his more athletic maneuvers that made him such a breakout performer are toned down within the WWE structure, but he still knows how to work a crowd, so any foibles should be minor obstacles. Lee is still early in his NXT run, so we're well off from his debut on the main roster. However, when that time comes, he should be at least given a chance to prove himself. Number 5, Big E. There was a time where WWE had big plans for Big E Langston. Brought in as Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee's silent bodyguard, Big E was a prominent performer on TV throughout 2013. Eventually turning face, he was buddied up with the likes of John Cena and CM Punk, and by the end of the year, he was the IC champ. Unfortunately, E lost practically all his momentum, and by the middle of 2014, he was off television. The New Day then came together and brought us pancakes and rainbows, and we all know the rest. Today, the group are quite firmly in the mid-card, and Big E especially likely has it in him to go after singles glory as and when makes sense. It's clear WWE thought that at one point as well, and he is built like a wall. He's also very good in the ring, and on the mic, Big E is easily the most engaging and intense out of his companions. If you need more, go and see what he does online in less scripted environments. The dude is hilarious. Unfortunately, while it was the New Day that helped E get over, they're also inadvertently holding him back. And he could make this climb as part of the threesome, but sometimes it's better to take a sink or swim attitude that would see him move away from the trifecta and go out on his own. Either way, he's on the list. Number 4, Donovan Dijack. Despite being signed to the WWE Performance Center, Donovan Dijack has barely appeared on NXT. He's had a name change to Donovan, he was just Chris before, and that did piss some people off, but there are rumblings that maybe he's headed straight to the main roster, and that has happened before. It's like a Braun Strowman or Mandy Rose. It's easy to see why Vince and his buddies would want Dijack to themselves too. At 6'8" and 275 pounds, the man has the size but also the acumen to hold his own in the ring. That's been quite rare within the WWE in recent years. With a diverse arsenal of power moves and aerial assaults, Dijack is a giant who moves like a cruiserweight. It goes a long way in 2018. However, with all this promise, he still doesn't really have a character, so that needs to come. But with all these attributes, McMahon would likely take him under his wing, and that's good all around. He's got the chops, people. Just needs a little help to get him there. Number 3, Matt Riddle. You've only got to see one interview with Matt Riddle to realise that he has what it takes. Taking to wrestling after he left the UFC like a duck to water, he won the Wrestling Observer's Rookie of the Year in 2016 and continues to get better year in, year out. Riddle even had a choice of companies to sign for before settling with WWE. He debuted on NXT TV a week before these words are coming out of my mouth. As we are talking about top guy status, some will claim Riddle's history of marijuana usage will hold him back. But doesn't everyone know that already? Not like he's been quiet about it. Even if you don't, in 2018 pot use is usually greeted with a shrug of the shoulders. Not that many people care anymore. Where Riddle clearly has an advantage is SmackDown's move to Fox next year. As mentioned, numerous reports have indicated that the network wants a more sports-orientated presentation, right down to inviting UFC heavyweight champ Daniel Cormier to try out as a color commentator. Given Riddle's history in MMA, WWE would be foolish to not push him with all that in mind to try and tap into an audience which is already used to seeing mixed martial arts on the station. Plus, again, he's got that hair. Told you it was important. Number 2, Kenny Omega. Who said they wanted to have some fun? You got it. Let's say you're WWE, which you are not, because even if you were, how would you be watching this list? Company doesn't have eyes. However, as you're drowning in money, don't have a top star, and would like to try and put a dent in your competition, why not talk to one of the best stars not currently in the WWE and see if he'd like to come aboard? There's plenty of reasons why this wouldn't happen, but look at the facts. Finances aren't an issue, and Omega has proved he can be a top commodity. He has the tools to get himself over in any capacity. If WWE could find a way to allow him to be himself, he would become a huge asset for them. For anybody, really. It would take a hefty investment and probably some creative reassurances to get him, but are any of us pretending we wouldn't want to see Kenny headlining WrestleManias and parading around with Universal titles? There's always one person sure, but I think that shoe fits very nicely. Number 1, Seth Rollins. We've had a laugh this video, haven't we? We've marked out, come up with some crazy theories, but if you want to put a serious hat on, there's only one person who logically stands out as the guy ready to take the ball and run with it. His name is Repo Man. Nope, it's not. It's Seth Rollins. Ever since his return from injury, Rollins has been awesome. The Architect has established himself as one of the company's most valuable assets, plus he's finally found his groove as a top-tier babyface. I still think the Shield reunion sidetracked him a little, but as of today, he's the hero we all knew he was gonna be. He also has all the little things going for him as well. As horrible as it is, his best friend Reigns did lose the title to a terrible illness, and his other BFF Ambrose betrayed him. Seth is now the most sympathetic character in the company, and that is essential. Needless to say, if plans don't see Seth winning the Royal Rumble, capturing the title at WrestleMania, and for WWE to begin the era of the man who burns things down, then something has gone very wrong indeed. Know of any other options to be WWE's next top guy? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Then head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles, and follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. My name is Simon from WhatCulture, and I will speak to you again soon.